How many times have you found yourself wondering why you keep making the same mistakes, even though you're fully aware of them? Maybe you've sworn to change, promised yourself that you'd never fall back into that toxic relationship, that destructive habit, or that decision that always leaves you feeling empty. And yet here you are again, trapped in the same loop. Carl Jung, one of the most influential minds in psychology, offers an unexpected and transformative explanation. These recurring mistakes aren't mere failures or coincidences. They are messages from your unconscious mind, disguised as opportunities for self-discovery. To truly grasp this concept, we first need to acknowledge that within us lies an internal world as vast as the universe itself. The conscious mind, the one we use for daily decisions, is merely the surface, the tip of the iceberg. Beneath it, in the depths of the unconscious, resides a powerful force that shapes many of our choices and behaviors without us even realizing it. Jung explained that this hidden part of our psyche communicates through symbols, emotions, and patterns. And one of its favorite ways of getting our attention is through repetition. If you find yourself making the same mistake repeatedly, it's not because you're weak or incapable. It's because there is something your unconscious mind is trying to reveal, a truth you haven't yet acknowledged, a wound you haven't yet healed. It's as if your soul is crying out, "Look at me. Listen to what I have to say." But instead of paying attention, we often drown out that voice with distractions, excuses, or external validation. For example, if you consistently find yourself in relationships that cause you pain, your unconscious mind may be recreating an unresolved dynamic from your past. Talvez you are subconsciously trying to heal the rejection you felt as a child, or attempting to relive an experience in hopes of changing its outcome. It's not that you enjoy the suffering, but your psyche is trapped in an unprocessed pattern, and this cycle will continue until you choose to confront it. One of Jung's most profound ideas is the concept of the shadow, the part of ourselves that we prefer to ignore or hide. The shadow is not inherently evil. It simply consists of everything we have suppressed because it doesn't align with the image we want to present to the world. But here's the key: the shadow doesn't disappear just because you ignore it. On the contrary, it gains control from the background, influencing your choices in ways you may not fully understand. When you keep repeating the same mistakes, it's not random. It's your shadow revealing parts of yourself that need attention. Jung teaches us that facing the shadow isn't a sign of weakness. It's an act of courage, because when you do, you reclaim the power that you've unknowingly surrendered to your fears and past wounds. Now, imagine for a moment that every mistake you make is actually a teacher in disguise. Instead of seeing it as a failure, what if you viewed it as a lesson? This shift in perspective doesn't just change how you see yourself. It changes how you engage with life. When you stop blaming the outside world and start looking inward, patterns that were once invisible become clear. And this is where the magic happens. Those patterns lose their grip on you. You no longer need to repeat the same mistakes because you've finally absorbed the lesson they were meant to teach. The challenge, however, is that confronting ourselves can be terrifying. It's much easier to blame others, fate, or bad luck, because accepting that we are responsible for our lives requires a level of raw honesty that few are willing to embrace. But Jung believed that true transformation doesn't come without pain, not because pain is a punishment, but because it is the process through which we break free from what limits us. It's like cleaning a wound. It hurts, but it's necessary for healing. Jung believed that the chaos is not the end, but the threshold of something new. It is in our darkest moments that we have the greatest chance to find our inner light, if we have the courage to face them. When you confront your mistakes and repetitive patterns, not only do you break free from them, but something extraordinary begins to unfold. You start living in alignment with your true essence. Synchronicity, as Jung defined it, occurs when external events perfectly align with your inner world. It is not a coincidence. It is a confirmation that you are moving in the right direction. Suddenly, the right people enter your life, opportunities arise, and the universe seems to conspire in your favor. But this level of alignment is only possible when you choose to live from a place of authenticity. Your authenticity is your greatest strength, yet embracing it requires shedding the masks you've worn to fit into a world that often demands conformity. This process can be uncomfortable, even isolating, but the reward is immeasurable, a life that truly resonates with who you are as you begin to notice the recurring patterns in your experiences. A profound realization emerges. Everything is connected. The decisions you made years ago, the wounds you chose to ignore, and even the dreams you abandoned have all molded the reality you live in today. But as Carl Jung reminds us, this reality is not an unchangeable fate. It is a projection of your subconscious mind, and you have the ability to reshape it. Jung believed that the key to breaking repetitive cycles lies in integration, embracing all parts of yourself, even those you consider weak or undesirable. Every time you reject a part of yourself, you unknowingly give it more power, and the more power you give it, the more it manifests as mistakes, conflicts, and suffering. But the result of integration is transformative. You are no longer a prisoner of your patterns. In turn, you become the creator of your destiny. These recurring cycles are often deeply rooted in the beliefs we absorb during childhood. If you grew up feeling unworthy, you might find yourself constantly seeking external validation, repeating relationships or situations where you feel the need to prove your worth. Jung challenges us to question these beliefs and to recognize that they are not absolute truths. They are narratives we have internalized that now direct our lives. And this leads us to the crucial turning point. You are not the stories you've been told. You are not defined by your past or your mistakes. You are something much greater with the power to rewrite your own narrative, to choose a new path and create a life that aligns with who you truly are. The problem is that many of us live disconnected from our authenticity. We wear masks to fit in, follow paths laid out for us by others, and repress our true desires out of fear of rejection. But as Jung would say, this disconnection has a cost that manifests in repetitive patterns and an inner void. You can liberate yourself from patterns that seem so deeply ingrained through self-observation. Begin by paying attention to your thoughts, emotions, and reactions. Ask yourself, why did I react this way? What am I truly feeling? Where is this fear coming from? These seemingly simple questions can unlock a much deeper understanding of yourself. And as you embark on this inner work, you will come to a profound revelation. You are not alone. Every person carries their own shadows and their own struggles. By sharing your journey and opening up to others from a place of authenticity, you not only heal yourself but also inspire others to do the same. Because when one person chooses to live in harmony with their truth, it creates a ripple effect. Jung said once that no he mea carga para el alma que una vida no vivida. This means that every time you ignore your dreams or follow a path that doesn't resonate with you, you are betraying yourself. But no act of self-betrayal is irreversible. Every setback was actually an invitation to turn inward. Jung taught us that the key is not to change the external world, but to transform our relationship with ourselves. The world you see outside is simply a reflection of what you carry within. This journey is not a straight path. There will be days when you feel that you are advancing, and others when it seems that you are regressing. But even these moments of apparent regression have a deeper purpose. Jung emphasized that true personal growth does not follow a linear trajectory, but unfolds in a spiral. You advance, then pause to reflect, and eventually move forward once again, each time from a deeper perspective. With time, these repetitive cycles begin to lose their grip on you. What once overwhelmed you no longer has the same control, and you find yourself responding in ways you never thought possible. One of the most difficult, but also most transformative aspects of this process is confronting your fears. The patterns that repeat in your life are often tied to what you fear most. The fear of rejection can lead you to seek validation in places where you will never find it. Jung urged us to change our perspective on fear, not to see it as an adversary, but rather as a guide. Behind every fear, there is an unfulfilled longing, a hidden part of you that is desperately seeking liberation. By walking through your fears in place of avoiding them, you reclaim the parts of yourself that you abandoned. When you begin to live with total authenticity, everything in your life aligns. One of the greatest gifts of this transformation is the synchronicity. What once seemed like random coincidences begins to take on a deeper meaning. You meet the right person at the right moment, and life begins to flow with an ease that once felt impossible. This is not magic. It is the natural result of living in harmony with yourself. However, to reach this point, you need a great willingness to let go. Letting go is not an act of weakness. It is an act of self-love. It means recognizing that certain people, situations, or beliefs no longer contribute to your growth. It is about releasing what is holding you back and making space for what uplifts you. The emptiness we feel when we let go is not an end. It is a sacred space where something new can flourish. As you move forward in this journey, you realize a powerful truth. Everything you need to change is already within you. It is a power that has always been in your interior, waiting for you to recognize it. Resisting change is natural, but what if you took a leap of faith? The moment you choose to let go is the moment you reclaim your power. Because when you cling to what limits you, you are giving your energy and your mental peace to something that no longer has a place in your life. But when you decide to liberate yourself, you send a clear message to your subconscious. You are ready for something better. And that is when the real magic happens. The universe responds when you begin to treat yourself with compassion, to listen to your inner voice, and to honor your needs. something extraordinary happens. The people and situations that no longer resonate with your new energy begin to fade away, and in their place, new connections and experiences that elevate you emerge. Jung believed that relationships act as powerful mirrors for our personal growth. Every person who enters your life brings a lesson revealing aspects of yourself that you might not have recognized. When you assume responsibility for your life, not from a place of guilt, but from a place of empowerment, you liberate yourself. You no longer need the world to change to find happiness. Instead, you realize that true fulfillment does not depend on external circumstances, but on the relationship you cultivate with yourself. The journey toward a life of fulfillment is not about reaching a final destination. It is a continuous practice of self-awareness, growth, and alignment with your inner truth. Every day offers new opportunities to learn and evolve. Your authenticity is the greatest gift you can offer the world. In the moment you dare to live your truth, you give permission for others to do the same. The profound wisdom that Jung gave us is that the power you seek is already within you. Your task is to dare to explore it. By choosing to heal and empower yourself, you become a living example for others. And this is not a solitary journey. We are together in this. If this message resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Leave a comment below and tell me what part of this message touched your heart. Your words have a greater impact than you think. They could be the encouragement that someone else needs to take a step toward their own transformation. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel and activate the notifications. Every time you interact with this content, you contribute to building a community where knowledge and personal growth can flourish. Thank you for being a part of this journey. We will see each other in the next video.